All right, 112 folks. I want to talk about Unit 2, about Chapter 18. Chapter 18, the character that we follow is Catalina De Arrasso. And she's significant because with her you get introduced to the Castas system, right? And the Castas system is significant. There's another video about this that we'll be talking about in class, but it talks about the social stratification. And the social stratification is significant when it comes to Spain, especially. In Spain, those original settlers that come to the New World, that come straight from Spain, are what we call Peninsulares, right? Peninsulares. And they are pure blood Spanish. Okay, born in Spain, raised in Spain, and moved to the New World to rule. What's going to happen is when they come in and set up shop, most of them don't come as families. Most of them either bring the family with them or create a family when they get to the New World after they've already settled. And so what we end up with is them often intermarrying with some of the people there. And when you intermarry, what we think of as mixed, they think of as, well, I hate to say impure, but that's what the Castas system is about. It's about blood purity and things along that line in lineage. And so how much pure blood Spanish you are limits what you can do. And so it talks about the Peninsulares being in charge, but then you're going to look at the Criollos who are going to be those Spanish that are born in the New World, and then we look at the mestizos, and the mestizos are going to be the Spanish who marry into the local population. They marry into the Mexico or the Aztecs or whoever else is down there at that particular point, and that's going to be the mixture. There's also going to be Spanish that are going to marry Africans, and so we get mulattoes, right? And the idea being is that that's part of their standing socially and financially and system of opportunity in the New World. This is significant because we're looking at a couple of things. Life in the New World is going to change. It's going to change because they have wiped out millions of Native Americans. Intentional and unintentional. You know, we look at the disease, we look at the crowded conditions, we look at the overworking, we look at the fact that they're not going to, be feeding and taking care of the people. And so they're going to be wiped out to the millions. And what will happen is you're going to see a priest come along by the name of Bartolomé de las Casas. And Bartolomé de las Casas is going to write a book about the treatment or mistreatment of the Indios in the viceroyalties of the New World. And he's going to write this and bring it up to the king and to the queen and to the people. And that's going to create what we call the Reformas. And the Reformas is going to change the encomienda system. And we end up with, the haciendas and a few other things. And so the idea being is it's going to change the relationship between the landowners and the people that live there. This is important because simultaneously what we're seeing is we're seeing a drop-off of the benefits of being in the New World. They have depleted some of the ready supply of silver. They have depleted the supply of gold. And so you're seeing some disinterest that goes with this new dissatisfaction, and so you're going to start to see the withdrawal of some of the Peninsulares and a few other people. What will change this is going to be what's pointed out here, which is the Mercury Amalgamation process. They're going to find a better way to go ahead and process silver ore, so now they can find strains and veins of silver ore that wouldn't have been worthwhile to do before, but now they can use this new process to better effectively extract it from the ore. And so when we find Potosi, the silver mine, the silver mountain, basically, it's going to become profitable once again. It's significant because Spain is still going to be established there, but we're going to see a withdrawal of some of the government, but an institution of the church, because we start to see the church be even more active here. The book talks about syncretism, and syncretism is important, especially when we start dealing with any church and the advancement of ideologies when it comes to religious beliefs, because the church is really good at taking customs, taking ideas that the people already possess, and taking Christian beliefs and overlaying them together. And so a really good example is Easter. Okay, Easter is a significant season and time for the Christian church, but that date and time of rebirth is actually going to be overlaid in places like Ireland to deal with some of the already occurring religious holidays that are there, because it helps the people to reinforce this new religion on religious beliefs they already had. And so that's significant. There's a few more other things to talk about. The book talks also about the Creoles. It talks about the Métis. It talks about, and what it's going to talk about is it's not going to be just the Spanish who have a Castas system, but there's going to be a rank as far as mixture, as far as, well, sometimes discrimination, or at least recognition of what's going on, of mixture of people in the New World. The Métis is all about the French in the New World, and their mixture of both French and Native American as far as mixed. And so what's significant about them is if you are mixed Native American and French, you're considered French. If you are a mixed Native American and Spanish, you're considered not quite as Spanish. And so, they work on different standards as far as they go. What else is in this? Just realize that the text about the treatment of the Indios, when you mix that with what else is happening, and what else is happening is going to be the Spanish Inquisition. You mix those two together, some terrible things are going to happen, but it's also going to create some good changes. The Castas system is not all bad. It benefits a variety of people at times. If you are among the mestizos, if you're among the mulattoes, and you're not more pureblood Spanish, well, what's going to happen is you're going to escape. You're going to escape the Inquisition, but you're going to have to make sure that you pay your debt as far as your tithing, not to the church, but to the crown. On the other hand, if you're Peninsulares or Criollas, you're expected to be adamantly defenders of the faith, and so you might be tracked down and tried for heresy based on some of the things you've done versus what's happening with the Inquisition. The Reforma is going to be a good thing. Okay, it's going to be a good thing, and it's going to be about the slow withdrawal of the Spanish authority from the New World, and so that is indeed a good thing. I'm going to leave you off here, and then I will talk about slavery in chapter 19.